Hello, and welcome to the third now, Hollywood Metal stream of Necropolis. Wasn't intending to come back, didn't see much value in coming back. Never meant to come back. I'm back. It's not entirely my fault though. What's happened is there's been some updates, new shit has been added. Of course you can see that this is where I left off, so I'm taking a jump from a very high height in the hope of killing myself. Well, that was less significant than it could have been. Oh, we're just not allowed to... Alright. Okay. You see, you can't start a new game without killing your old character. I've got no real need for this bastard. I mean, one of the main additions, one of the things I'm really here for at the moment, is the addition of the Thug class, which is just this little guy, but a lot fucking nastier. Is it on its way? There it is. Should not have jumped off there, it has turned out. Wonder if I'll make it. I will. The glacial pace of these things is a lot more appreciable when you're on your way down. There we go. Oh yeah, this, the whole thing happening here. This is me. Hello. Decided face cam might be an interesting experiment. Now you can see me, which is, you know, I mean, clearly I'm more visually interesting than anything I'm going to play. I'm an incredibly handsome man. There's no denying that. There's no sense in attempting it, but I don't know, try and focus on me. Try and focus on the video game, rather. I'm not just a piece of meat. Here we go. Unfortunately, we will have to play through the bullshit opening stages of level 3 before we get to actually go back and find out what's new. Although they may be new. Well, that... Oh yeah, they're the spider chaps. We've seen him before. It's good to see the old combat loop of just hitting things with a largely meaningless sword is still in full fucking effect here. But Skeleton Man's not feeling too different. Of course, this is Brutal Edition. Now, whatever that means. Stealing something from the PC first time on PC of the Dark Souls saga with their Prepare to Die edition. Of course, when... Oh, he's new? Although, on the other hand, he was invisible until a second ago, so maybe he's not new, I've just never seen him before. Oh. Assumed he was dead. Is he dead? It's not turning into loot, so I'm inclined to distrust his, The fucker's actually done the decent thing and died. Jesus Christ, he hits hard. And I'm dead. Excellent. A little bit of sardonic commentary from the ancient triangle that oversees all. Right. Let's see what's new in the Brutal Edition from the fucking get-go. New game. Oh, hello. This is exciting. Well, she certainly looks a lot more interesting than we have been seeing. What kind of colour scheme do we fancy? Yeah, alright, black and gold. Good to see that the comedy is still in place, if that's what we're fucking calling it. I don't know, it's not that bad. So I'm just a slower. So good, so far so expected. This is a new area to start the game in. Is this special to the big guy, do we think? Oh, you've saved me the goddamn trouble of walking down that every goddamn time. It's charming. Right. Looking for the It should be the little codex stand. There we go. See what's going on here, if there's anything new. Standards of blueprints. Okay. Tracks now, maybe? Vampirism, because vampirism is the most expensive, and thus we can assume the best. Who's not slower than we have been? Okay, so far, not exactly game changing, but okay, so we hit a lot slower. I do assume we hit a lot harder, or we just take a lot more damage? Well, I mean, the new background is certainly something. It's something we were used to seeing later on. Oh, got a shield power attack now. As before, I think that was just a standard bash. Okay. Still lots of waiting around for elevators, which is a feature of the more interesting levels, unfortunately. Still, I'm liking the design. A lot of like, I don't know. I'm finding that the aesthetic grows on me more and more the more I play of this. Like the simplification, and obviously some people aren't going to like it, and that's it seems to get a lot harder, a lot faster now as well. Or at least more interesting. Oh, Jesus Christ, my roll is terrifyingly slow. Okay. Okay, that's new. Hello. Ah, it seems I'm invincible for the duration, though, so it just means it's... Oh, they're fighting each other. Good for them. Oh, fuck yourself, mate. Okay. So yeah, the main difference seems to be that he's a lot slower. I assume that's just to balance out how flighty the original guy was. Not sure exactly what the value of smashing them is, but can't hurt. Don't know if killing all the pests was a objective, but it's nice to get coins. Games like this require coins. You've got a certain amount of wealth to accrue. But no, I'm liking it. Big burly simpleton motherfuckers. And that's a new axe. I mean, God knows it might have been... I don't remember any axes in the last time I played this though, so maybe it is new. Just tease that. There we go. Okay. Cutlasses, broadswords, all flavour of sword, but I can't remember any axes, so this might be new and exciting. Who fucking knows? I imagine if you've played more of this than I have, then you fucking know. Yet to try any power attacks, obviously. But yeah, I certainly seem to be taking a lot less damage, although... That said, I remember these enemies at the beginning of the game being piss weak, so maybe it's just that. I guess we'll know later whether that one fucking barbarian attack still kills you instantly. Locks you into an endless death. Well, I seem to be going through these chapters. You think that might be the axe, that might be me. It's hard to tell. Go. I certainly seem to... Oh, it doesn't matter, does it? Just teleport back. Do I not have power attacks like this? I don't seem to be able to do my power attacks. Oh, there we go. Excellent. I think I am being able to tank a lot harder. Just as a trade-off for being a fuckload slower as well. Come here, little man. Yeah, the combat mechanic hasn't really been that upgraded. Like, the AI seems fairly where it was. And I guess that's not, like, unforgivable. Just because you can't expect that much of a total refit of a game like this. But that's kind of what it needed, in honesty. Is this going to be... I don't know. Assume that was going to be the final door, but it doesn't seem to be. Unless they've gotten rid of the... You have to pay to... Nope. I imagine I'll still have to pay. I don't know. However will I manage these traps? Not excellently done there. I'm afraid. What's up here? Have they added verticality? This might actually be the kind of breath of fresh... Oh, for a second I thought I wasn't going to be able to get up here because the boxes were in the way, and I was going to bemoan the fucking procedural generation, but it seems like I would have been slightly ahead of time. Oh, sweet, some magic scrolls. Just sit down. Nope. You just gotta really, really just gradually wheedle your way down there. Excellent. It's gonna be another. Nope. Not done with this bit yet. I keep expecting this level to be over. No such glory yet. Not a lot going on here though. Expect a couple more enemies than this usually. Alright. Those skeletons will almost certainly animate into... Oh, here we go. Oh, man. I do typically enjoy the large bastard option in video games. Just because you're so often called to fight one of them, it doesn't seem fair to constantly be the squealy little motherfucker dodging about. I imagine it's probably because it's easy to write AI for guys who don't have to dodge. Like, their strategy is just swing vaguely in your direction and rely on the fact that they're doing so much more damage than you to hit you. Smaller, lighter enemies have always struck me as being a lot easier to, a lot harder rather to program than big traps. There's less strategy involved. And of course, little fast guys tend to be the foil of big clumsy fucks as well. So you end up with this kind of shit. Well, the exact opposite of this specific kind of shit. I'm sure you catch my meaning. Fuck you. Make Dark Souls so interesting for a lot of people because you can just be a giant clumsy fuck who doesn't care that you've stabbed him in the face. Is this new over here? Oh no, this is the main way I've gone. Alright, I'm pretty confident this is going to be the way out. Oh, fuck you, dude. Oh wow, we just really just send fuckers flying. Okay. Yeah. I don't really care that you just hit me. Turd. Fucking skeletons with kunai there. Is that a kunai? Is that what one of them is? I'm fairly confident that it is. But I've been fairly confident about a lot of shit during the course of my life, and you're not always right. Delicious, delicious mouse icker. Is that gonna be it? No. Let's just background shite. Well, I'm sure I've walked past the door that I'm meant to be going through at some point. Okay, damn it. Yeah, samey environments make it difficult to navigate. There we go. That's the way out. Oh, because he's got his mouth open. See, a wise player will go back and go down the other route as well to get all the gold and upgrade themselves as far as possible, but I have never claimed to be wise. In fact, as well, I'm playing as the larger dumb guy, so this is, if anything, the correct amount of roleplay. That is nowhere near enough shield. Alright, let's get on. I'm used to I don't open those little crates anymore because almost always you get something you've already got, which is a goddamn waste of of the only permanent currency in this game. The only currency that, excuse me, the only currency that matters. Well, at least I'm going to get to kill some Clockwork Knights now. I have a decent sized shield out of this as well. Nice. Alright, so it just falls down to bashing little fuckers. Huh. Maybe new, that might not be new. That's the problem with this. It's I don't know, it certainly feels a bit more varied now you've got a larger chap. And I'm sure multiplayer, like the co-op, will profit from this most of all, just in that you can finally denigrate your properly denigrate your responsibilities. Delegate, rather. You know, don't have to have one tiny little shit doing everything while another equally tiny little shit does the other half of everything. You can have, you know, hitters and dodgers and so on. Not sure if it... Okay, not sure if it's enough. Yeah, these guys are a lot harder now because... Well, before I had the tiny man's advantage, I'm just a big clumsy fuck, but they're even bigger, even clumsier fucks. They have the advantage of being better than me at the only thing I'm good at. There we go. Okay, so they're broken Clockwork Knights, and the other guy's just Clockwork Knights. Oh, you're one of those little shits. Explodes. Okay. Nope, still no climbing up a land generation. Is that a decent sword? Better than that, at least. Not a lot going on just yet in this. Of course, I'm pleased with the how much faster it seems to be to get to the good bit. Oh shit! Forgot about those guys. Yeah, really gotta fuck up these tiny clockwork men's. I don't know what this potion is, so I'm terrified of drinking it and it being something fucking terrible. But I mean, at some point you just kind of gotta. Ah, shit. Ah, this bastard thinks he's doing... Yeah, I'm starting to miss my mobility, to be honest. Like, I'm enjoying the added choice, and I'm sure he'd be flexible in a team, but just by himself he seems a bit... Especially considering the entire game is designed around that nimble little fucker. Just squeezing this guy in seems like a bit of a... I don't know. Oh, good. Don't you fucking try shit, you little... Alright. Okay. Wow. If he were more dangerous, that would have probably been a little bit more interesting. That could have been a proper moment of tension. Oh, does it take... Do we have to wait for the fucking animation to play to craft stuff? Less than great. Still, I'm liking it. Big clumsy motherfucker in a pointy hat. And it did need something. There's no... It did feel very bare bonesy, especially for the goddamn £20. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm a cheap bastard, and £20 for a game that's really quite simplified is not going to be... Like, maybe that's fair? It's a lot clumsier. I don't know. If I'm paying 20 quid for something, I like to get a few good hours out of it. You know what I mean? And I like them to be decent hours. Like, it's all well and good saying that this game lasts for a long time. And I'm sure it does, but... I mean... Your car breaking down on the side of the fucking road will last you some time to deal with, but it's not. Like, you don't recommend it based on its fucking time expenditure. Spending time doing something is not valuable in and of its fucking self. I don't know. Quite popular though, I've noticed. Games that insist that because they take 40 fucking hours to beat that they must be great. And let's be honest, that's not the fucking case, is it? I don't know, I like games that I can beat and still remember why I cared from the beginning. I like stories that don't fucking drag out, and all too often it's the memorable metric problem, of course. Sorry, it's the concept that especially in like corporate with like corporate art products, they tend to, instead of trying to make better art, they focus on the things that are measurable and demonstrable and say, well, we'll make those better. And you don't end up with actually a better experience, you just end up with, say, a longer video game, or more pixels, or, like, higher resolution textures, or better frame rate, because it's a lot easier to do that than it is to... Yeah, it's a lot easier to make those things better. Okay, so you swing that quite normally. It's a lot easier to make those things better and say, oh, look, we made these things better. And it's a lot easier to report on that as well. Like, you'll get a headline if you come across, like no one, like, it's beyond taste, basically. It answers the problem of, well, what if people just don't like our aesthetic by not actually making anything... By making things better in a way that's actually meaningless, but measurable. For example, like, nobody likes the... Like, to bring it to The Witcher, which is a fucking long video game. Nobody liked The Witcher because it was fucking 60 hours long. Like, if you like The Witcher, and if you did well done on the taste, continue to have taste, it wasn't because it was a fucking lengthy experience. It wasn't because the resolution was really high. It wasn't because the, what's its name? The graphical fidelity was off the fucking charts. Even though all those things are true, those are not why it was good. It was good because it had an interesting story that was well written and told. But you can't, like, beyond the meaningless fucking metric of, oh, there's 100,000 words in it. You can't measure that shit, and so it doesn't get, like... well, I suppose CD Projekt Red and The Witcher are the exception to what I've been talking about. So they make me look like a bit of an idiot for picking them as an example. But yeah, quality isn't something you can measure. There's whole books about that concept. Read Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Insurance if you're into sad man who rides a motorbike and talks about how quality isn't something you could fucking... Jesus, this got fucking cerebral, didn't it? It's bullshit, look at this. I'm a guy with a big fucking shield and a big fucking hammer, and my god am I having a good time using them together. My hammer, which is called Mr. Spikemouth, is a beautiful creature. I'm sure the hammer has an actual name, but Mr. Spikemouth is what I call him. Another hapless little fuck. Get here. Swing through him in, like, almost painfully slow motion. My god, isn't it? This is enjoyable. I'm not fucking... Like, the pace hasn't really improved. Even with the flighty guy, this was like a slow game. Like, it was never fucking skinny your teeth reflex based. And now they've added a dude who moves at half goddamn speed. It's practically fucking glacial. And yeah, there's fun in being glacial. There's a lot of the time as we're playing video games, you're asked to confront with someone who's a fucking just inevitable force of goddamn nature, and you are stood in front of him, praying to God that you'll get out of the way whenever he moves whenever he can work up the fucking strength to move his gigantic fucking limbs and take a smack at you. So it's nice to be that guy. It's nice to be the giant fuckhead who just... What's that? Use that not magical scroll. Can I just not pick that up? Do I have full... No, I don't. Okay. Have I just got that recipe already? Yes, I do. Okay. I was wondering what was going on there. Oh, so you could... Oh, well, I think that's new as well. The, finding recipes in crates. So that's interesting. Like before you had to buy them off that one chicken who just turned up in boxes and was a chicken in a box. Yeah, that's what I thought that would be. Alright. Nothing left to do here, except that one crate that I've walked past. At this point, must have been at least, like, twice. Maybe 3 times. Oh, sweet! Ambush! This is new! Fuck yourself. I mean, my god, am I throwing that shit around very slowly. It's like I'm fighting in a bath of fucking treacle. Nonchalant question my incredibly fucking glacial swings. But mate, gone forever. But no, I am having more fun than last time, just because, like, I think the thing that I hated most about this game, well, not hated, hate is a strong fucking word, but the thing that I was most disappointed with, displeased over, about this game, was that there was the sensation that you could see most of it in one goddamn run through, and for a roguelike, that is death. That is the only cardinal sin. If you've made a roguelike that you'll watch once and then be done with, you're fucked. You're just fucked, mate. Whereas this, you know, maybe there is exactly enough new secrets for one run through, and after I've played this one run through, I'll be like, well, never to play that again, and that'll be it. Maybe I won't. Like, there's been enough freshness for me to be pleased. And this was a free update as well, which is nice. Didn't try and charge me £5 for let's be honest, some fairly necessary fucking content additions. There just wasn't enough game. And now there's a bit more game. I'm hoping to see if there's some new armour sets specific for the big lads. It is a pleasure to look at these fucking environments. Like, I know that's not new or particularly insightful criticism. It's just pretty. It's just a pretty fucking skybox. I don't know what to tell you. And not everything can be fucking Proust. Oh, I know. Person's critic, admittedly. I know. Your critic of choice. Just insert their name where I unwisely said Proust. Do you like Jim Sterling? Are you a fan of the big man? Fan of the cool ghosts myself. Just bring a couple of solid chaps. Of course they don't compare to me because I'm the best in this world, but they're pretty good. Going to scout a couple of people who've named themselves something self-deprecating. Oh look, a horde of raggedy fuckwits. Oh, sweet. Is he? No, he's not. No, he isn't. Little shit's on fire and he's going to fucking suicide me in a minute. I can't get away from him because I am made of fucking treacle. Oh, he hits pretty hard at this point. Oh, come on, just get some fucking swings in. Do some stun damage, you lazy fuck. Oh, sweet, they're hitting each other. Nice. Just fire through here and do this fucker in. Yeah, I move my mouth a lot when I concentrate. Which I'm sure nobody's made any comments about. Like, I'm positive that has gone absolutely remarked upon. Oh, fuck yourself. Apparently you didn't fancy joining in a minute ago. Oh, I do like the bastard sword. Fucker over there just poking me from a distance. Problem with this guy, of course, that you have to get really up close before you can take a swing, because otherwise you have no idea whether they're gonna do you the incredible favour of staying still long enough for you to actually get them. Just make some fucking meat, mate. Come on. There we go. Oh. Oh my god, have I been... Shit. Fucking spell poisoned me. What a... This is new. This is exciting. This is... Is he just turning invisible, the little shit? What a fucking turd monkey. Am I poisoned? Is that poisonous gas there? Spores of some variety? Oh, fucking mouse man's out here somewhere now. This is exciting. He's new. Come on, you widely little turd. Come get me. Just gonna circumnavigate that. Not fucking circumnavigate, just avoid. I'm not. It's not a fucking globe, for God's sake, Lucas. Come on. Fuck up a dog. Fight some sweaty little globe men. Hey there, buds. Well, he went down a lot easier than his mate. Oh, cool. Just have a... That's what I'm at risk of there. Oh, it's these fuckers again. You gonna come get me? Yeah, they just teleport, don't they? Which is weird because they're really bad at close combat. So they just jump up to you and then let you kick their asses because they have no actual plan beyond that. They're suicide wizards, but not suicide wizards in the idea that they would, like, I don't know, do anything useful with their expenditure of their life. They just turn up to let you know that, you know, they're kind of bored. They're not very useful. They've got a bit of a stick, and it's time for them to die. Yeah, take that. Have yourself a snack. Yeah, come get me, you dickhead. Are they trying to get, like, behind you? I suppose they might be, they might conceivably be a threat if there was a lot of other things around. So they can wheedle in, sneak up on you. But they just don't seem like they... Because they attack so slowly as well. There's no real... Like, I can't see them being a threat to anyone. So, considering they're something like a mid-game enemy, they don't seem very well done at all. I'm just wrecking shit now with this sword, which is nice. I don't know which of these weapons is the better one. Yeah. Okay. Because they're all level 1, and because the game is... It just delights in not telling you anything that you might be interested in knowing. I thought, for a moment there, until he did the whole downward stab thing, I thought it was going to be the most disappointing charged power attack in the game. And even with the charged stabby thing, it kind of was. Have a quick vomit. Yeah, I'm having the endurance problem again. There doesn't seem to be a way to increase your ability to... Oh, I just poisoned myself. I guess that'll be the... I don't know what that potion's going to do. Oh, excellent. Okay. Oh, cool. Alright, so I threw up. I do like just chugging magical potions in this. Especially when there's nothing immediately about to kill you. Yeah. Okay, so I have to kill their little rat man before he can escape, I presume, to get sweet loot. And to kill him I did. Just, cheese that fucker. Oh, there's a cool triangle shield there. That's crap. Magic Scroll was level 2 there. I'm not sure whether I'm going the right way. Yeah, I am. That's the exit door. Alright, mate. Just like a free quick down. Free quick power attacks. Jump and smash there. See, there's not a lot to say about this, really, is there? It's very much the same thing it was last time I played it. Oh. Where have you been hiding, buddy? I don't know. It's not. Like, it's not. It's still not unenjoyable. And there's enough to come back and have that, like, oh, this is exciting again experience. But the combat still feels floaty and unresponsive, and I'm not sure there is a fix for that that's going to be, you know, a patch. This feels like the kind of thing that, like, as a prototype for a game, is very exciting, but as a game, doesn't actually offer all that much. Like, I'd like Necropolis 2, honestly. This feels like something that would... And it's a shame that we probably aren't going to get one, because Necropolis 1 wasn't very good, and thus wasn't, presumably, isn't doing all that well. I've not actually looked into the sales figures for this, but I mean, there was certainly enough interest for them to release an update patch that just added a whole bunch of stuff, but I don't know. I got the feeling, sorry, that they rather had to do that just to make sure there was any interest at all. I don't know. Because the concept's certainly interesting. Like, it's not like a bad game. It's just the core, like, it's a very good idea, and the core experience, the core like gameplay that we've built it around, just doesn't feel that satisfying, and it's weird. Like, it's a weird, because it fails at the thing that you'd think it would, like, put the most effort into. And the other stuff, the tangential stuff that, let's be honest, they don't, things like this generally don't try too hard at. It has done really well. Cheers for that. Yeah. Like, I think inherently I'm just still unsatisfied with it, and that's a shame, because it's the kind of thing I'd like to like, you know? Fucking rat wobbling about. It's just, ugh, like you flinging your giant clumsy fucking dude around, and even when you're the little guy, even when you're the little supposedly nimble one, you're still like clumsy. You're still a bit limited. New enemy, but does it fight any different to any other enemy I've fought? No, it really doesn't seem to. Like, everything is just just fucking slap at it. Like, if it is one of those games where all of a sudden there's loads of content later, then it really can't afford to be this slow in introducing it. You know? Roguelikes aren't great for that, and they shouldn't be. Like, a slow burn is all well and good, but you gotta... If I've played for like 5 or 6 hours and I'm still, and it's meant to be quite a short game. Like, it's not. I don't know, if you play for as long as I've played this and you still like, and they need to release a full-blown fucking content update for you to feel like the game is in any way fresh, I'm only going to play it when that happens, and that I don't think they're going to keep releasing full-blown content updates every time I feel like playing Necropolis, so I'm probably not going to feel like playing Necropolis all that often. You know, it's not worth the effort. Is this guy probably going to kill me? It feels like. Come on, just bait him into an attack. Oh, excellent. I thought I was going to die there for a moment. I presume those bombs of an unknown type are fire bombs, because that doesn't... the thing that makes the most sense. You got the stuff to... yeah, grab some meat. Well, yeah. It still feels very samey. And like I could forgive it. I could forgive most things if it was like fast paced and I don't know, just a little bit more interesting to fight stuff. And maybe I have chosen the biggest, clumpiest motherfucker in the game and given them the biggest, clumpiest motherfucking sword. But I've played this as with like the smaller weapons as well, and it's still like the pace of the combat doesn't really change. Like admittedly you dodge in and out a lot more effectively, and oh good. Worried that I wasn't gonna find one of you fucks. Is he? Yeah, he's glitched into the side of the game wall there, so I can just ignore him for a little while. Is he gone? Has he disappeared? Has he? Yeah, he's left the game. He's abandoned me. Ah, oh, I could have loved him, if only. Ah, oh, fuck. Just getting mobbed by shrubbery men. Shrubbery men. Fucking fungaloids. Yeah, he's just gone forever. He's just gone forever. Like, I keep wanting to argue on behalf of this game, but it's just not that fun. It just isn't that engaging, and it's certainly not engaging enough that you'd want to keep playing the same levels over and over again. And it's built on you playing the same levels over and over again, so it just isn't that great. Like, this certainly isn't enough extra content for the justification of, yeah, come back, like, we fixed it this time, because no, it's got the same problems. It's got new, I mean, the enemies feels like skins of each other at this point. You know, the big shark man, and then there's the skeleton shark man, and then there's the rotting big shark man, and there's the big guy, and there's the other big guy, and there's the third big guy. Oh, that guy can steal my shit. Well, that's new. I swear to God, game, if you don't let me... No, you weren't going to let me hit him, were you? He's precious. Yes. Make a lighter weapon to see if that feels any different for me. I don't think it's going to. I feel like I've seen what I'm going to see of this game, to be honest. And constantly, like, trash weapons as well. There isn't enough... I don't know, you don't get given new stuff fast enough, even. Like, you'll find one good sword, and then... Hey, I hope you like that sword, because that's the sword you're playing with. That's the sword you're doing this run-through with. Just the lack of new shit is a serious problem for something like this. Where, ideally... You want to be like all it's got is the novelty of its weapons, of its items. God knows enemies don't provide anything like that. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it quits there. It's new, there's some new stuff, there was a couple of surprises, but it remains unsurprising. It needs the kind of breadth of content that something like Rogue Legacy had, where these things keep fucking happening. New shit all the time. New enemies, like new zone. Like you'll play Rogue Legacy and you'll play like fucking an hour and you'll get really far and you'll be like, oh, this is great, and you'll meet a boss for the first time. You'll be like, oh, great, this is amazing, and then you'll die or you'll win, and then you'll be like, all right, carry on. There's 4 more. You know. There's such a massive quantity of shit to me, and a huge selection of like and there's like a map. There's a sense of each run has its own sense of progression, and even though like that's obviously wiped at the end of each thing, there's there's the mansion building mechanic. This needs something to build on, and all it has to build on is the tomes, the grimoires, the whatever they're called, the books. And because you can have all the books, like, or you just have the best book, because you can only keep one at once, so you just save up over a couple of runs, buy the best, most expensive book, and then there's nothing. There's nothing else. You're pretty much done then with of what there is to discover. And maybe I'm being shallow. Maybe, but maybe like one book is the best book and it's not the most expensive book. But then you go on the wiki, you look at which the best book is, and you buy it, and then it's over. You've got as good as you're going to get, and then it's just a matter of hoping that you get lucky fucking rooms. Or you collect enough gold to buy the health upgrades, or you find a chest with some cool armor in it. Like everything is dependent on the procedural generation, and that's fine if the actual experience of exploring the world is fun, and if the combat is fast paced and feels like intuitive and responsive, and it isn't. So either you've got and it doesn't have to be true. Like FDL doesn't have responsive fucking combat. FDL is incredibly slow paced, and that's interesting because you have a degree of control over what happens. It's the slow burn of getting fucked to death, whereas Necropolis has no threat, no threat, no threat, no threat, no threat, and you're dead. Like nothing is happening, nothing bad is happening, nothing bad is happening. Oh no, here are 10 fucking war chiefs and they've all got flame axes and you're just fucked. And that's not interesting because the winning playthrough, you're gonna play it again, and it's not gonna be decided by your skill. You're just gonna be decided by the playthrough where you don't meet 10 war chiefs with flaming axes and they don't fuck you to death, basically. And it's not entertaining. It's not fun. It's not fun to play a game built on that degree of randomness where you don't have a level of control over how you handle it. Yeah, I guess I care about this game a lot more than I thought I did. Because it kisses the asshole of greatness. But it's not quite there yet. Can't quite bring itself to put the tongue all the way in there and really get some greatness on its face. I have disgusted myself. We should never do this again. And this is over. So there's nothing more to say, but go away.